because pranayama, breathing exercises, can bring you to similar experience, altered state of consciousness like plant medicine. So I could really experience with pranayama, with a breathing exercise, how I can got a very similar level of expansion. Actually, shamanism is the source of all spiritual practice, all religions, yoga, everything comes from this. And it's saying that the saints of India, the rishis, they were taking some substance, it's called soma.
Welcome to this new episode, and today I am here again with Julio Aranda. How are you, Julio?
I'm very good, very excited about the second time.
Very nice. So Julio's been here for a long time now, and is very well known on the island for being a great dancer and also a dance teacher. So when it comes to dance, I know that you're into different style. Of course, Latin dance is probably one of the main that comes to mind. But you've been holding dance classes all over the island, different places. But now there's a lot more to you, because I've been seeing all sorts of things popping up in social media. And you are a great example of somebody that has been in Koh Phangan for a long time and kept on investing in personal growth, development, learning, etc. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
So that's
like most of the people here in Koh Phangan.
That's right? And that's why it's interesting to have a sort of check-in with you and understand where you are in life right now. So one of the things that you seem to be more and more involved with are ceremonies.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, this is absolutely right. So I started to work with plant medicine around about 4 years ago, after I started with my yoga TTC here in Koh Phangan. And of course, yoga is the main thing here on the island. And it was very different what I hear from most of the yogas TTC. And in this journey, I already started to connect with plant medicine. There is a very interesting documentary about the shamanic roots of yoga. And it's how I got into, let's say, my roots, because in Paraguay we don't have like a big shamanism culture, but our culture is very connected to the indigenous culture. So in Paraguay, we are the only country in the world that our indigenous language is the first language. So Guarani, Guarani is the first. You need to learn until you finish the school for sure. Wow. So usually every Paraguayan understand Guarani more or less. And so I connect with these roots, and then I start to explore plant medicines in different ways, different plant medicines. And then I start to see how this dimension of life, you can expand into something totally different. Like I didn't expect at all. If you will tell me before Koh Phangan, like how I will expand my skills or in which direction my life will go, I will say you're crazy. Yeah.
I love Koh Phangan because it's a little bit of a laboratory of people from all over the world. So, of course, you're from Paraguay. Yes. And you have also some German roots, I suppose, yeah?
Not really roots, but I grew up in Germany.
Okay,
yes,
okay.
that's correct.
That's cool. Yeah. So people from all over the world coming here, and then you come with a certain skill set to start with, most people. But then you have the opportunity to meet other people, do training, etc., and sort of refine your ability to be a facilitator and a teacher, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And that's what happened to you. And you're saying that the yoga TTC you've done, where did you do the TTC? Can you explain?
Yes, it was in Pyramid Yoga with David. He's also very well known here on the island. He was one of the first on the island. Sure. And he has an amazing place, you know the place, the Pyramid Center in Koh Phangan is incredible. Our favorite ecstatic dance happening there every Sunday. Yes, there is where I did my TTC with him. And he's 76 years old. When I started Yoga TTC, I saw how he is more capable to do things with his body than I was with my, I came with 38 here, 36. So he was incredible fit, and I was surprised that yoga can help you to be there also. And of course, beyond just the physical aspect, also the mental aspect and the spiritual aspect.
Very nice.
Yes.
And I think his TTC is very focused on the chakras, is that right?
Yeah, so his main work in yoga calls the 9 chakra system. And yes, it's chakra yoga, he called it. Yeah.
Okay. So you learned about the chakras, and then of course some people finish a teacher training course, and they have an amazing experience, but then they don't continue sort of practicing. Whilst
yes.
for you, it was different. Is that right?
Yes, I was practicing a lot. I got very interested into pranayama because pranayama, breathing exercises, can bring you to similar experience, altered state of consciousness like plant medicine. So I could really experience with pranayama, with a breathing exercise, how I can got a very similar level of expansion as with plant medicine. Yeah, it's very interesting. So I was keep practicing, and I still practice yoga. I never became a really teacher, but I introduced this in my new work that I share with my clients certain systems that I learn.
Very nice. And when did you start doing ceremonies meaningfully? I mean, of course, you've been a facilitator of spaces, you've been teaching people for a long time.
Yes.
On the dance side.
Yes.
And then was it difficult, and when did you start?
So basically, this is how most of the people start with plant medicine, because when you start this, as you say, it's very interesting that you see me now showing up differently. Because in my smaller circle, of course, they saw me already the same way you see me 2 years ago. And they asked me, Julio, what you're doing in your life? It's very interesting. I see you different. You expand. Your way of talking is different. Your way of being is different. I see you like expanding. And I share with them this yoga and my spiritual practices change. I had some kind of practices before, which some people can say is spiritual, but for me it was just physical exercise and mindfulness.
Okay.
This was always part of my life, but I didn't connect really clear with the spirit realm or with the universe or God or like that. And then I start to share, this is mainly through the plant medicine that I connect more with myself, with a part of myself that I was not so connected before. And then show me. And I say, well, I cannot show you. You need to do the ceremony with me. And they say, okay, let's do that. So my friends start to join me in my ceremonies. I will do my ceremony for myself, and my friends will witnessing me, or they will start to do it with me. And this is how I started.
Okay, so organically, slowly. And,
exactly. And then other
nice.
people, but for me it's very, very important as well as a yoga teacher, that as long you don't really have the base structure to hold space, you should not do that. It's in my experience. So for example, I had a lot of experience with ayahuasca. I still don't serve ayahuasca. Mm-hmm. If people ask me, I do know people doing ayahuasca and serving ayahuasca, and I co-facilitate, but I say, for example, so ayahuasca is something that I will not serve until now. I start to cook, I learn how to cook, and I cook for myself, but I not serve. Okay. And there is other plant medicine, like for example, also for me very important is the legal aspect of this. So I prefer to be very safe in Thailand and to hold space in a legal way. So that's why I'm very happy that we have now the opportunity to serve ceremonies with marijuana, for example, because it's legalized here. They are doing already a work with mushrooms also. They are already on the way to legalize also mushrooms. So I will also serve mushrooms as soon as it's legal. I will also serve these.
Yeah. And I mean, these plants, both marijuana and also mushrooms, I mean, there's quite a lot of research, and they're going to be more coming. But beside the scientific aspect, I mean, these are traditional plants that go back thousands of years, right?
So this way is so... Sorry, you want to say more?
No.
Yeah, sorry, I'm so excited. And because I really love the as you say, so for me, actually, shamanism is the source of all spiritual practice, all religions, yoga, everything comes from this. And it's saying that the saints of India, the rishis, they were taking some substance, it's called soma. And in the Rig Veda, you can read already in the first page about that. They are explaining they are taking some substance to connect with the God and to be immortal. And it's exactly what I experienced with plant medicine, that you really connect with something we call God or we perceive as the universe. So somehow the roots of, or the source of all energies, of all ideas, of all concepts. This is my experience. So we tap into this universal consciousness.
Yes, because of course the plant, so the marijuana, for instance, can induce an altered state of consciousness. So it changes the way you perceive your thoughts, your mind, and the external world. If you can then sort of stimulate through a ceremony, through a ritual of sort, you can stimulate some sort of happening of a mystical experience, right?
Wow, super good.
And then people can feel this altered state of consciousness expanding, and they can receive some sort of message or have the feeling of connection with the whole. These are amazing things that you can also experience through yoga alone, but it's a lot more practical and often easier to just give a first glimpse of a mystical experience through plants. Is that correct?
It's super correct. It's so accurate what you are talking about, because exactly this is what actually happening. So because you don't find these plants everywhere, the knowledge that we got from this plant is exactly there. So we learn through the plants that through certain asanas or posture, you start to create a structure in which the energy can flow in a specific way, and you can actually produce DMT or all the substances that make you alter your consciousness. You can produce it in the high level with breathing exercises, for example, also with breath retention, for example. So there will the ancient were taking these substances, getting this knowledge, understanding that they don't need these substances because there are other way of doing that. And it's more practical if you are in places in which you don't know which plants are master plants, with the indigenous call it master plants or teachers, or plant healers. So we don't know exactly, so they teach us how to do it without the substances. Exactly.
Okay. On the very sort of easy end of the ceremonies that are very common in Koh Phangan, we have the substance of cacao, which is very gentle, very soft. So it's got some properties, obviously, but of course it's not psychedelic. Right?
Well, this is interesting because connected to breath is super psychedelic. So I was in Russia last year, and this was actually my first time tapping into the public. So actually just last year I started to really showing up in social media and showing up as a spiritual teacher or as a facilitator for plant medicine, because that's also very important for me. I don't call myself shaman, so I'm not really a shaman. And I facilitate. I love what you are saying. So I expand from the dance teacher or dance facilitator into more brighter way of facilitating dance. Cacao dance, for example, is super interesting because I had a situation with a woman in Russia. She was suffering from some disease, like lung disease, and nobody could help her really, and she has really difficult to breathe. And she came to this ceremony. You can see in my Instagram there is a video about this, exactly this situation. And she came to the ceremony. She did the whole ceremony in which I use a lot of breath work, and she got really high. She got really, really high. She could breathe for the first time really openly. So before she had really problems with breathing. And she told me stories, I think that we need a different podcast for that, but she told me crazy stories in her journey, seeing blue entities. So crazy things.
Yeah, it's
with cacao, only with cacao.
With cacao and breathwork, yeah.
Yes.
There are different styles of facilitating groups, right? And of course you have lots of experience on the dance side, so you can be very present in front of people. I remember your style of teaching dance was very vertical masculine,
Yes,
and absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, I mean, how do you sort of, manage or facilitate the space now when it comes to ceremonies?
It's very interesting what you say about masculinity because, yes, so for me in my dance teaching, I was also very strong and straight. And here, especially with plant medicine or with shamanic music jams that I also organize, you need to be really flexible. You need to learn how to navigate through the emotions and to not judge the emotion. And yes, I learn a lot about, let's say, the Shakti energy, how to really connect with these, witnessing all the emotion and not to react to them. It was very challenging for me. Yeah. So now with the plant medicine, I allow myself to not try. I allow myself to not try to control so much.
So it's a different sort of, a way of facilitating,
Yes.
obviously, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's interesting that you observe all the things. It's really.
Do you want to talk about your lovely dog? Because of course it's part of the video today.
Yes.
So it's a sweetie, but yes, it really likes, to be on camera as well.
His name is Archie.
Archie, okay, very
Yes.
nice. Okay, so let me ask you a couple more questions.
Yes.
So first of all, I'd like to know the kind of, so you said cacao, you've done in Russia before.
Yes.
Here you have some shamanic sound journeys, right?
Yes.
I know that you are in the home center often with the didgeridoo.
Yes.
You want to talk about that aspect of your work?
Yes, so basically through this new observation from your side in social media, I start to offer more my experience actually. So what I really like at the moment is that I share everything what I did experience in the last 4 years. And especially when you work with medicine, it's a lot about music. Mm-hmm. It's a lot about frequency. So it doesn't matter which kind of plant medicine I use, it connects me so deep to the music. So mm-hmm. I open up my voice. I never sing before, like I was not able to really sing in public. If I will sing, it's just for my girlfriend to have a romance situation.
Wow,
but,
okay,
yeah.
serenading her.
But really never talk about singing and even playing instruments. This is the crazy things for me about creativity and plant medicine. So how you discover in yourself skills that we all have. So there is a beautiful saying in Africa, everyone that can walk can dance, everyone that can talk can sing.
True, huh?
Amazing. So, and this is what I offer in my ceremonies now also. Like we do music jams, learn how this native instrument, just a shaker, is incredible. I was judging before, like when people play the shaker, what is this? Why you need a shaker? And now, in my plant medicine journey, one of the main things that I connect deep is the shaker. Okay. It's grounded me, it's made me feel really connected to the earth, the sounds of the seeds inside. This is amazing. Archie, come here, baby. Yeah. What did you do?
So that's very cool. Okay. So you want to talk about marijuana a little bit, because of course Santa Maria is one of the ceremonies you're doing, right?
Yes. Icaros are actually some sounds and words and music that you get from the plants. So you learn actually how to play music for ceremonies from the plants. So I never really learned I never really got initiated from a shaman. That's why I say I'm not a shaman. And with each experience in using the plants, I got new instruments. So first was the shaker, then was the didgeridoo, then was the drum, and so on and so on. And each flute, a lot of flute. And each instrument shows me how the frequency works with you. Mm-hmm. And why actually there is a specific music for ayahuasca. There's certain kind of music if you have experience with mushrooms, how the music influence you. Mm-hmm. So, and if you connect also without plant medicine, if you connect with this, you can really experience how the frequency works with you, like how you feel the music actually influence your emotion, expanding you into more, it sounds cliche, but the heart, like how do you start to feel your emotions to your heart center is really incredible. I really love that.
Nice. And with the marijuana then, of course, you add, that's the plant that you can use as well. You've been using recently.
And I have a shaman, let's say teacher. He don't see himself as a teacher, and he left, he was living 4 years in the Amazonas with the Chipivo 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. And he shows me that he used in the ceremonies some of the sounds, but he got also his own sounds. And the Icaro he also asked me, Julio, you know which is the Icaro of the marijuana? And I said, no, reggae.
Reggae, of course, Bob Marley.
No, and actually the reggae started with the Rastafaris.
Okay.
And the Rastafaris are one of the well-known worldwide using marijuana as a sacrament.
Oh, okay.
Do you know that?
I didn't know. No.
Yeah, they use the marijuana as a sacrament, so they don't just smoke. And for them, it's a really religious plant. And the Icaros are the reggae, so that's how they connect. It's really interesting.
Okay, well, certainly I always associated marijuana with reggae, that's for sure. But now you explain it why, okay. That's very cool. Okay, so there's another development that I think it's interesting, that maybe you can talk about, is that there is this very lovely center called Rasaruna, a beautiful land.
Yes.
And they have a very nice big dome, and then a second dome. And now I think they built a restaurant.
Yes.
And you are working with them, is that right? What is your role there?
Yes, so actually Rasaruna I connect with Rasaruna from the beginning. So Rasaruna was built around about 4 years ago. And from the beginning was my main place in which I practice certain things. I rent the space usually every year in the raining season, because here most of the people don't want to do anything in rainy season. So I was renting the space for me and working there and doing my stuff for the raining season. So I love this place. And now the new owners are from Germany, and actually from Hamburg, where I really live long time.
Oh, okay.
And they invite me to start to create events, and then we talk about, what we can do together. And now I do social media for them. And my Santa Maria ceremonies are there. Some new dance styles are there. So I cannot really let go of my dance. It will be part of me my whole life. And my music journey also. Like we do their shamanic music singing.
Okay, that's lovely. So
I love you.
So that's what's happening with Rasaruna.
Yes.
And how do you see the space developing? Because of course now the ecstatic dance on Friday is there, which is possibly one of the most popular events. Ecstatic dance is the biggest class in Koh Phangan, right?
Yes.
And the fact that it's there is a lot of legitimacy for this new center, which is very lovely.
Yes.
So do you see it developing? Do you know what is the plan at Rasaruna?
So they are checking first, and with the locals and with the people that are living in Koh Phangan. And they actually, I love, they are from the Osho community, so the owners have a lot of experience. The parents were growing up in Osho communities. They grow up in this style of living style. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, you know what is Sorba the Buddha? The concept of Osho?
Of course, I read the book as well.
Exactly. So this is exactly what they want to be as a center. They want to be inclusive. They don't want only people that are only spiritual. They want to have also an event for people to open the doors for spirituality, to experience a different way of experiencing life.
That is very Koh Phangan style, I think, you know.
He's connected with you too, eh?
Yeah, hello. So I think it's very Koh Phangan style, you know. So we have like senior teachers, we have like many more like sort of junior mid-level teachers, and then you have lots of people that possibly are interested in making the first steps or trying a new class. And you know, Zorba the Buddha is a great concept indeed, you know, because I think Osho was one of the first teachers that said that in order to be a fully developed individual, you need both the spiritual side, but also the material side, you know, not just one or the other.
Exactly.
And the two can come together. Exactly. And you know, there's more flexibility as well with regards to the way that you lead your you know, spiritual and personal journey in life. And
yes,
so
exactly.
I love Osho for sure. You know, I've been to like the Pune ashram, Kathmandu, and it's great that they got, you know, this background there at Rasaruna, because I think the land is enchanted. It's very beautiful land.
Beautiful land.
So there is lots of potential there, and so well, congratulations, you know, for being you know, part of this project.
Thank you.
So the last question traditionally is, why do you love Koh Phangan? I mean, obviously you do, because there was a point when I remember you were sort of like talking to people about moving M Block to Mexico for a while, you remember?
Yeah.
But then you never did it, right?
So it was crazy. So what I love about Koh Phangan is Koh Phangan will not let you go if you belong to Koh Phangan, and Koh Phangan will kick you out if you don't belong to Koh Phangan.
Okay.
And that's what I love. It's very clear that if you are here, I don't judge people living here, because it doesn't matter what you do with your life. If you are living here and Koh Phangan accept you, you are kind of nice person.
That's good. That's a nice way of explaining it. Yeah. Cool. So still in love with Koh Phangan, and it's amazing to have you still here, and I see you around all the time. So of course you're very much part of the community here, and well, good luck, and wishing you the best for this new entrepreneurial stuff that you're doing alongside the medicine and alongside the Rosaruna job, etc. Okay.
Thank you very much. And I would like to say something also more. So I don't know when the podcast will go on, but I have also another podcast on Monday. And I would like also to introduce the people more deeper in the work. I love what you say about the mystical experience, because I think Koh Phangan is a portal for mystical experience. And I believe that we humans are not just humans, we are mystical beings.
For sure. It needs to be awakened.
Exactly.
This aspect of mysticism.
Exactly.
Cool. Kapun Kap. Thank you.
Kapun Kap. See you. Bye-bye, guys.